All right, so welcome back to Close Enough Garage. What we're going to be working on today is holes. More specifically, how to actually precisely go ahead and measure and drill them. It's not a topic that a lot of people are asking about, but I know there's a lot of people that could use help with it. I myself have found a way that works for me that I'm going to try to give to you guys as well. Now, what brought this up was I'm experimenting with the silver. I'm learning gem settings, how to set stones, make more ornate rings than what I was, and a big part of that is accurately drilling holes. I've got this little 4 by 16 millimeter piece here. And of course, I use millimeters because it's easier to be more precise with them. So we're looking at 1.5 millimeter holes in these pieces. I'm working very tiny. They've got to be able to sit on a woman's finger and sit comfortably. So, you know, I'm not going to be working with inches. I'm not going to be working with thousandths. Although what brought this up is a 0.5 millimeter difference in the spacing of these holes, and it looks horribly out of line to me. I don't know how it'll look to you. I was a machinist for a while. Got quite a bit of training with that. I did it for a living for a little bit when I was younger. I have engineering background. I was actually a quality engineer under the IDF for a little while. Actually a defense contractor under the IDF in the U.S. Armed Forces. So I look at these and I see these teeny tiny little tolerance discrepancies, and it drives me insane. Now, of course, we're working fine, we're working small, and we're working with more precious metals right now. But this is going to translate to bigger projects. It's going to translate to whether you want to take an I-beam and make a whole drill press, but make it accurate and level, or just a press in general. If you want to work small with jewelry, if you want to rebuild the ear on a transmission, one of the mounting ears, and you need the hole to be precise. There's so many places that this could be useful for. So I'm going to bring you in and show you what I'm looking at, what I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you the methods that I use, and we'll go ahead and get it underway. Just remember, this can be used big or small, it doesn't matter. The only difference in the technique is you're probably going to be center drilling it if you're using a bigger drill. Now, a center drill, probably usually about that long, about 1.5 to 2 inches long, and it's just got a cone-shaped flute section with a little tiny straight bit sticking off the end of it. That's going to help you center bigger holes. So like if you're working 1/4 inch on up, I would use a center drill on that. I do use a center drill on that, but this starting method is going to be much the same. Looks like the sun came up at some point. All right, let's bring you in. We'll get you to take a look at this. So what brought this whole mess up was I'm working on pieces like this. Now this one is scrap. The center piece, it had a post in it that had prongs on the end of it. When I went to actually solder the prongs in, the post to prong connection came off. And I'm just scrapping it, but I'm using this ring here as a basic template to go ahead and rebuild it. I'm learning how to set the stones, so it's going to have these little 2.5 millimeter stones on each side of it, and then in the middle, in a 4-prong setting, is going to be this green peridot. But what brought this up, I'm not sure how visible it is to you. As I said, it's clear as day to me. These holes are ungodly uneven. Now, on a piece this small, this difference is only a 0.5 millimeter. And I'm not even working with power. I'm not working with a power drill. I'm actually using what's called a pin vise drill right there. And it works a lot like a screwdriver with almost the same pressure, the same movement, and everything else. The method I'm using and the method I'm sharing to you guys is a method that made these holes. And these are within 1/10 of a millimeter, or just slightly less than 4/1000 of perfect. 4/1000 of an inch. So if you want to put it into terms most people can grasp, the average sheet of notebook paper is about 3/1000 of an inch thick. So to show you what we're doing here, It's going to be easiest when you're working precise. You get yourself a nice pair of metal calipers. Throw that plastic junk away because these ends are actually scribes. So we're going to measure this piece out. It should be about 4.5. Yeah, 467. I've got no idea what the length is. I just cut it out of a piece of some scrap. Let's get you centered there. 1070, we'll say 1069. So we'll drop it down. Your measurement's going to be 5.35 millimeters approximately. I'm not going to sit here and fight this back and forth. We're just going to get it close enough for the video or we will be here all day. So your halfway point, take it off your flat edge and go ahead and scribe your mark with your calipers. That's why plastic is junk. Mark's uneven, but again, I'm not drilling this. It's scrap metal. And we have that other measurement there of the 466, so we're going to take that down to, we'll do 233 approximately. Yep. Oh, I was almost perfect on it, and then it moved again. Now the same side that you've got your center mark scribed, you're going to go ahead and come off that edge and scribe another center mark. I'm trying to look through my phone while I'm doing this, so it's not anywhere near perfect. Now, you're clean on that. You've got your center lines all marked out. I'm going to take just a little dot of a fine line Sharpie and put the fine line Sharpie in. Now, the tool that's going to save your day is available in many sizes. It's a manual center punch. It's got this little sharpened tapered end on it. So what you're going to do, you put that end perfectly on your thing. Take a small hammer, ball peen, anything like that. I'm using my chasing hammer. Just give it a tap. You ain't got to whack the shit out of it. You're just trying to make a divot in this. Now, silver being a softer metal, and this piece probably having been annealed recently, it makes a pretty noticeable divot. And what that's going to allow you to do is that's going to allow you a perfect starting point. I usually do this out of a vise, but perfect starting point for your drill. You can see we're throwing out a nice strong chip there, even with this little hand drill. But that is pretty damn centered. And again, we're probably talking differences of tenths of millimeters. Now, I just threw this together, so it's not going to be exact. We're looking at 172 on that side of that hole. And even without the exactness, we're at 177 on that side. So that's 0.05 of a millimeter. That is pretty close to perfect. Now, of course, there is a cheat code to all of this, and that cheat code would be to go out and spend money and get yourself a benchtop milling machine. Not a drill press, but the milling machine. And that's going to allow you to just center it in, have the piece clamped in, and run your perfect drill hole right there. No walking, no centering, nothing else. Now, as I said, if we were using bigger pieces, you're going to go ahead and come in with the center drill and poke that into your divot. That divot's going to keep the drill bit from walking all over the piece. It's going to give it a piece for that angled point to bite into, and it's going to keep it nice and centered. Now, if I continue drilling that hole and I keep the drill level and keep it from wobbling, I'm going to have a perfect hole all the way through there. So that's it. Nothing really fancy, nothing too complex. It's just that center punch is going to help you make that divot, so that way you've got the divot started. You can run your drill bit straight into that. Start with light pressure and then get up to your normal drilling pressure, and that keeps the drill from walking around the hole, scratching it up, or landing off-centered and drilling over here, something like that. So, once again, whether you're working with millimeters and 1.5 mm drill bits, down to a 1/2 millimeter drill bit, which I have as well. Like I am, or whether you're working on a bigger project, you're mounting new suspension components, you're repairing a broken place where you've had it welded, you ground out where the hole should go, and now you've got to measure out and center that hole in that part, or get a precise hole no matter where you're trying to put it. It doesn't matter if it's silver, gold, platinum, titanium, aluminum, steel, whatever the size, whatever the material is, this is going to ensure that you are always accurate with your work. It gives you a cleaner result, it gives you cleaner install, and it gives a higher quality result at the end. All that being said, I have been learning to set gemstones. I've been learning to make settings. I did my first successful one recently, sent it out to a friend in Colorado. She absolutely loves it. It was 5 handmade flower petals set onto a handmade band with a blue sapphire in it, and then a clear 1.5 millimeter stone on each side of it in the band itself. Really beautiful setting. I'm going to drop some pictures right here and show the work. You've got the blank right here where I just drew the shapes out, cut it out with a coping saw, got it all filed and smoothed, and all the pieces set in, put them into my different forms and tools like that. Beat them into shape with a small hammer and a dowel or a driver. Got them all bent up just so they look like flower petals. Scored across them with another carbide tool. Got it all put together, put into the ring, and the prongs aren't perfect. They're not exact. It drives me crazy even thinking about it, but it is pretty strong. It survived the ultrasonic cleaner, which is, that's a huge test, especially when you've got flush set, star set gems, stuff like that. If they survive your ultrasonic cleaner, you've done pretty well. They'll be pretty good for daily wear after that point. But anyway, I'm gonna quit talking. I got a lot more work to do, as you can see. I've got to turn this piece into a ring today, because I have other pieces that I'm looking at making, and I've got another piece I'm looking at donating to a local treasure hunt as part of the grand prize. It's up to like 28 grand worth of stuff at this point. I want to get a part of that, and I want to have my name in there on the donors list and kind of help with a little bit of advertising what I am and what I'm doing. So I have one men's ring, one women's ring going into that. I'm going to get this one done. Have my wife wear it for a couple of weeks just to test it, make sure my settings aren't going to just fall apart. And then I'm going to get on actually producing various styles and types of women's rings. Everything from, solitaire settings up to fully wrapped, blinged out bands with bigger stones in the middle and all this other stuff. It's been fun, and I've been learning a lot. So hopefully along the path of me learning a lot, I'm helping some of you guys learn a lot. As usual, hopefully we've helped somebody else today. Go ahead and do the whole like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate you guys checking me out and giving a little bit of traffic to my channel. Y'all have a great day and be safe out there.